the show, we'll sit down with YouTube star and my good friend, Commander Holly. Plus, Marvel's VP of Current Animation, Stephen Wacker.
At this super secret animation location.
Very secret.
Welcome to Marvel's Off the Rack.
Oh, lordy lord, here we are. All right, so today we're gonna be doing something a little experimental, a little new. It's gonna be called Bullshit Movie News, where I'm gonna be talking about topical movie news that's been coming out, and you guys can talk to me about it. Tell me what you think about it. Let's start off with some Marvel movie news. So first up, the Inhumans movie has been dropped. All right, they dropped the Inhumans movie. Oh, no. I think that that's a great idea because, like, the Inhumans to me are like fetch. Like, quit trying to make fetch happen. Like, are you bummed? Are you bummed on that they're dropping the Inhumans movie, or do you give a shit at all? Because I don't know anybody who gives a shit. Like, the only people, like, the only Inhumans worth anything are Black Bolt, Medusa, Lockjaw, and I guess Crystal. But that's it. Like, but I also have a particular issue because in the comic books, since Marvel doesn't own the rights to mutants because they sold that IP to Fox, in the comic books, they are dialing back on the mutants and trying to push the Inhumans. And one of the things that's happened is that there's been a Terrigen Mist bomb or something where the Terrigen Mist that all the Inhumans have to go through to become Inhumans gets all over the planet and infects everybody. And apparently this Terrigen Mist kills mutants. It started the Mpox. And I heard, and I'm not on the up and up on A-Force, but Dazzler has the Mpox and she might die, but then she came back in another issue unexplained. Also. I don't know. Yeah, see, you guys don't care either. Nobody cares about the Inhumans. Nobody cares about the Inhumans. So moving on, I'm glad they're doing that. That's great. So next bit of movie news, we have Toby Maguire, and he is officially passing off the torch to old Tom Holland, the Spider-Man torch, as it were. And he's super stoked on Tom. I'm super stoked on Tom Holland. I think everybody is super stoked. Peter Parker's supposed to be a dork. He's supposed to be not a cool, cute guy. And Andrew Garfield is definitely a cool, cute guy with good hair. So I love this new guy. Marvel fixed Spider-Man in 2 seconds flat. I just kept thinking to myself, oh my God, what would they have done with Scott Summers? Like, I just want to see I just want to see the MCU Scott Summers, and I want to see him blasting at that fucking airport scene. I want to see Wolverine showing up, and like, the Wolverine's an Avenger. Like, it's just fucking killing me, guys. It's killing me. But I'm glad that Spider-Man is back. I'm super stoked that he's hanging out, literally and figuratively in the MCU. And I cannot wait to see more of him. Now, in more Spider-Man movie news, we have Robert Downey Jr. officially joining the cast for Spider-Man Homecoming, which is the name of Spider-Man's own solo movie that we have coming up. Now, definitely, Michelle, the joint custody is working for me with Sony and Disney because Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man, if you don't know. But since they've had a couple of failures with their Amazing Spider-Man series, that was just a total bomb, fucking Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the craziest fucking thing I've seen in a while. Like, besides, like, I think BVS definitely tops it, but like, man, that was a fucking mess. And yeah, so I'm super excited to see what they're gonna do with Spider-Man Homecoming. I'm excited that Robert Downey Jr. is just gonna make check after check after check. Like, and yes, we need Marvel X-Men movies. Absolutely, Alex. Like, I've been saying it my whole life. You know, I don't know, maybe that's why they dropped the Inhumans. Maybe they're like, hey, maybe they're talking, maybe there's a talk happening. But I don't want to get my hopes up at the same time because, like, I don't want to get my hopes up and then, just bum myself out later, And yeah, he is totally going to date Aunt May. Like, what is the deal with Robert Downey Jr.? Like, I don't want to think about Tony Stark and Aunt May having sex. Like, that's so weird to me, but I'm coming from the comic book perspective where I've always seen Aunt May as an old lady, like an old white-haired lady. And so this is just kind of weird for me. It's just kind of awkward for me. I'm sure all you other guys, I mean, everybody doesn't want to see a not fuckable woman on screen. I mean, I get it. We got to put Marissa Tomei up there because, if they're not fuckable, they can't be on screen. So yeah, speaking of which, Kevin Feige, he has said that they're finally committing to a Black Widow movie. I talked about this last time. Yeah, so that's exciting. I'm excited that Black Widow finally gets her own movie. She deserves it. Like, she super deserves it. I'm excited to see what they do with her character. I think they could do a lot more with her. And yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm also all in on the idea of the Ant-Man and Wasp movie. I didn't know. I just found out when I was reading through these headlines that it's called Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I'm so fucking stoked because I love the Wasp, okay? Black Widow, she's cool, but I don't really relate to her, okay? Same with like Scarlet Witch and same with Gamora. Like they're okay. I like, you know, they're fine, but they're not like, they don't resonate with me. Like I can't put myself in their shoes like I can with Wasp. She's awesome. I can't wait to see more Evangeline Lilly. I am so stoked on that and more Ant-Man in general. Okay, so let's move on. The Russos talk Avengers Infinity War. Captain Marvel will be appearing in the Infinity War series. Okay, so if you guys don't know about Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, she is a military, she was a pilot. There was a UFO crash. She went down there, it was some Kree stuff going on. She got zapped and she has Kree powers. And you know Rogue from the X-Men, how she can fly. She's super strong, she's a tank. I mean, not in the movies, not Anna Paquin, but like in the cartoons and the comic books. Like she stole Carol Danvers' powers, like permanently. Like those are Ms. Marvel's powers. So Ms. Marvel is like, she's like that. She's a tank, she's super strong, she's invulnerable, she can fly around, she's super awesome. So I'm excited to see her. Again, though, I like Wasp over Carol Danvers. She's like too military and she's had some drinking problems. I don't know. I don't really have a drinking problem. You guys might think I do, but I really don't. What do I think of the Doctor Strange trailer? I'm super stoked about the Doctor Strange trailer. I love like magic and occult stuff. So I'm super stoked to see Cumberbatch doing it. I loved his voice. I loved the way he was speaking. Like his Doctor Strange voice was so good. I could just close my eyes and listen to Benedict Cumberbatch like anytime, all day, all night. He's got the sexiest voice. Like he's just, he's killing it for me. So I'm super pumped for Doctor Strange. I can't wait for that one to come out. So moving on, we have a Blade Runner sequel. The release date moves up to October 2017. And honestly, I heard about this Blade Runner sequel. I'm not excited about it. I don't think it's necessary. It's not even Ridley Scott directing it. And I don't know. I would rather...
Blade Runner 1.
I'm a fan of Blade Runner 1. I own it. I have it on the Blu-rays and all. No, I actually need to get on the Blu-rays, but I have it on the special edition DVD. I do feel like, though, I've always felt like I would rather have seen that whole movie from Roy Batty's perspective because he's way more interesting of a character than Deckard. Just personally speaking, that's my opinion. But I still, just the look of it is so amazing. It inspires me, what he was able to do. And the performances in there are great. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Blade Runner, but Blade Runner 2, I think it's a little unnecessary. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys need a Blade Runner 2? Does anybody need Blade Runner 2?
Ghostbusters 2?
Well, do we need Ghostbusters 2? I mean, I think the internet has already answered that question. Nobody wants that.
Well, you do want Kickboxer 2.
Well, okay, moving into some of our last movie news. We have the Kickboxer Vengeance trailer out. We have Kickboxer 2. Jean-Claude Van Damme is now going to be training the new Kickboxer. Batista is in this. Gina Carano is in this. I'm so stoked for Batista. He was great. He was so great in Guardians of the Galaxy. And then he's going to be in Kickboxer. And then I was reading another movie news, and he's in some other big movie too that's getting ready to come out. So fuck yeah, Batista. Like, good job. I'm so excited. I love wrestlers. So I want to see them do well in life. And I'm really stoked for him. I love Kickboxer. I saw it I think for the first time like 2 years ago, maybe, or something. I had never seen it. And I sat down and I watched it. And I was like, this is amazing. And I was like doing all these sketches of like things from Kickboxer. It might be on Netflix right now. It might. Did we do a commentary for Kickboxer?
We did for both of them. Only one of them.
Oh, one of them. Okay, we did. If you guys don't know, on our Vimeo channel, we have a bunch of commentaries for movies that we've put up through our website. And yeah, you can check those out. And it's either Kickboxer or Bloodsport. Is one of them up there? One of them, I think Kickboxer might be up there. So if you want to pop in the DVD and then listen to my commentary with it, you can totally do that. And I think that's it for the movie news.
Want to do some chats?
Let's talk some chats. Let's do some chats. Let's talk about Captain America Civil War or whatever else you want to talk about. We're going to get your little cams ready and your chromes ready. And then, oh my gosh, this guy's just shoving this thing in my ear. It's not. This is not awkward. This is not awkward at all.
There you go. All right, you're good.
So Michelle, we're back. Hey Michelle, what's going on, girl?
Hey guys, I'm glad to be back again. Okay, so this MCU news, I understand why they got rid of the Inhumans movie, but we're talking about relatable female characters. I'm completely on board with you that I can't relate to Gamora. I can't relate to Black Widow. Those people are way too badass. But one female character that I found very easily relatable was Kamala Khan, and she's an Inhuman. So I'm just kind of curious if there's any way the MCU could potentially bring in somebody who can reach that audience and reach that demographic and make themselves so relatable to, you know, the younger female audience that I think is very important. I think that they need that strong, you know, even if she's younger, that strong female role model in their lives. I think that would be incredible. But without the Inhumans movie, I don't really see how they can do that, which just kind of bums me out 100%.
Yeah, I can see what you're talking about there. Like, I do want to see Kamala Khan. I would love to see Kamala Khan, but I think instead of being in a movie, so they just are now coming out with like Captain Marvel. So then to have Ms. Marvel, that might like confuse some people. But maybe if like after Captain Marvel comes out and like that's all done and like whatever, we can have Kamala have her own like Netflix series or something.
That would be awesome.
She's in Jersey, so I mean she's right over like, you know, she's not that far from Elston, like Jersey thing. Yeah, I would love to see Kamala Khan. She's so great, and I agree with you too. Like I saw somebody on Twitter today that was like, I don't know if she's pandering or if she's actually cool, you know. And I was like, no, dude, she is actually cool. Like Kamala Khan does not feel like pandering to me. Like,
yeah,
written by a Muslim woman. Like it's not pandering.
Which is awesome. And I think that's a whole other thing, being able to see that side of the culture. And I think it was like in the first or second issue where they're exploring like her religion and her way of life and the traditions there, and it's something that's really eye-opening. I think a lot of people are confused on what that could mean, but I think it's completely revolutionary to have such a young girl and have her be Muslim and then bring that into the MCU. That's something that I think is very socially aware, and I think it's something that can be used for good, especially for the younger generation. And I think it'd be awesome to see her with this new absolutely perfect Peter Parker and seeing them being able to just fanboy and fangirl over the Avengers the way that I know that they would. It would just be incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 200% on that. Like, she is, the thing that I loved about that comic is, you know, the way that her family is portrayed. And they're portrayed like every other family, like ever. I mean, it's like same shit, different day. Like me growing up in the Bible Belt in Alabama, like I'm dealing when I was a teenager with the same problems that Kamala Khan deals with her dad, who's like, oh, you need to go to like mosque and you need to do all this stuff. And like my dad's like, oh, you need to go to church. It's the same thing. It's like, don't talk to boys. It's the same thing. Like it's just filtered through a different like version of the Abrahamic God, because like all those religions came from the same place. So it's all the same thing, like Judaism, Muslims, and Christians. It all comes from the same place. So
they all have the same foundation. Yeah, it was the same thing. My dad was super conservative with church. My mom was super liberal with church. So to have that kind of family dynamic is really, it's relatable. And I think that would be something that would be so cool if they can somehow pull it in and make her part of the bigger MCU. I think that would be completely and totally awesome.
Absolutely. Totally agree with you, Michelle. 1 minute left, guys. So Giant Man. Chris Evans was in Scott Pilgrim. Yes, Bill, you're right. Okay, Chris Evans was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and he was so good in that movie. Like, in fact, let's talk about Scott Pilgrim for just a second. That movie does not get the love that it deserves. Edgar Wright is so fucking awesome. Like, that is how I want to see an X-Men movie made. Like the humor in that, and like, I mean, not exactly, it'd be a little different, but like, I want to see lighthearted, crazy stuff. And like the way Brandon Routh was using his powers when he was like, has vegan powers at Scott. I was like, that's amazing. Like, why didn't the X-Men movies look like this, where people are just using their powers and it's kind of cartoonish and like make it a little fun, make it a little stylized. You know, I like things that are stylized. I'm so tired of everything looking so fucking realistic all the time. There's really no reason for it. Like, I'll believe, like, you can make it look a little cartoonish and I'll believe it. It's called like suspension of disbelief. I own some of it, so you know we can do that.
I blame the execs.
Yeah, Ramona had Superman and Captain America has evil exes. Yes. Yeah, Captain America also hooking up with Sharon Carter. I think, is he a virgin? Is Captain America a virgin? I think he is, guys. Like, because he never got with Peggy, and like he was going to a war and he's warring the whole time. So I don't know if he had a lot of time for the ladies. I just want to see Captain America get some because he deserves it and he's a good guy, and it'll probably make him feel better about everything.
7 years old.
Oh, Mark, if Hawkeye saved everyone from Thanos, I would be like laughing really hard. Although I love Clint popping in where he's talking to Black Panther and he's like, "Hi, I'm Clint. We haven't met." And Black Panther's like, "I don't care." You know, it's just like, oh, that's so T'Challa. Like, he doesn't give a fuck who you are. Like, he's just gonna like go at you with his little kitty claws. Oh, I love that Black Panther. He's so cute. A friend of mine actually worked on like the suit, and he was there with Chadwick Boseman, like taking it on and off of him and stuff. And he said that, man, when they were filming in Atlanta in that black suit, he was so hot in that thing, and it was just so not comfortable to wear. Like he was telling me just like how like this poor guy like had to just like yeah, he was having a flop sweat here and there. So big ups to Chadwick Boseman for dealing with like having a crazy costume, because I don't know if you guys have done much cosplay, but like that shit gets really like not easy to move in. And oh my gosh, yeah, when I did my RoboCop costume in cardboard, I mean that was ridiculous. Yeah, I was like standing up for like you can't sit down in that thing, so I was literally standing up for like 7 hours or something. So I had to do this. I did a crazy masquerade like cosplay competition, and I won. And it was awesome. And then I collapsed at the end of the night. Like literally at the end of the night, I get up to the hotel room and I'm like, Timo, take this off of me. Like I started having a panic attack, like, cause I needed to get out of it so bad. Cause I was like, and I was bruised the next day. Like there was definite soreness in a lot of joints. Yes. And whoever was saying something about Squirrel Girl, let's see Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl all day. You guys are right. Let's wrap it up for today for our bullshit movie news. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for our guests. Thank you so much to SMILETIME for having us today. It has been awesome. We'll be posting these to YouTube later. Tell your friends. Bullshit movie news.
Later in the show, I'll be joined by Strawberry 17 and Nikki Limo. It's all nuts under here. Welcome to Marvel's Off the Rack.